to the Week in Review for the week ending August 4th, 2012. I'm Verna Bharat, inviting you to spend the next half hour with me as we take an in-depth look at the stories that impact our daily lives. In this week's program, Trinidad and Tobago's culinary team wins gold for the sixth time. The Nigerian president visits Trinidad and Tobago for Emancipation Day celebrations. And Arts and Multiculturalism Minister Dr. Lincoln Douglas applauds the Arts and Culture Tax Allowance Initiative. The Week in Review begins now. Let's take a look.
Trinidad and Tobago has won the much-coveted Caribbean Culinary Team of the Year award. It's the sixth time this country secured the award in this category. And congratulating the local team, Tourism Minister Stephen Cadiz says Trinidad and Tobago continues to put forward the best in competitive cuisine creation. He was speaking at an appreciation ceremony held for the participants in this year's competition.
Trinidad and Tobago has never had anybody on the team that has gone more than 2 years. So we have a young, fresh, energetic, brilliant team going to the competition, and according to them, they've seen fellas there who've been there for 10 years and I don't know how long. Fellas who keep going back and back and back all the time. And Trinidad and Tobago takes its chances with a brilliant young team, and this is the result of it. So again, congratulations.
President of the Trinidad Hotels, Restaurants and Tourism Association, Hassel Thom, says development of this sector of the tourism industry has the potential to put Trinidad and Tobago on the market as a destination for cuisine.
In so doing, we are assisting our Ministry of Tourism and TDC, and Minister, this is not at you, yeah? The Ministry of Tourism and TDC in putting destination Trinidad and Tobago on the map. Perfect private sector, public sector partnership. So we look forward to the continued support given by the Ministry of Tourism and the TDC.
Minister Cadiz says inroads should be created towards this avenue of the tourism sector.
All of you who are involved day by day in the business, you know what the opportunities are. You've seen it. You've seen what the other Caribbean territories have been able to do with their tourism industry. And we should not be behind the pack at all. We should really and truly be the premier destination in the Caribbean. So that is my job. That is what we have set out to do. We're going to find ways and means of making it happen. Whatever changes we have to make, we're going to make. Whatever tweaking we have to do, we're going to tweak. But it is going to happen. I can guarantee that.
This year saw 8 chefs represent Trinidad and Tobago as the national culinary team. The minister also took the opportunity to award Caribbean Chef of the Year, Devon Joseph, with a scholarship to pursue culinary studies at the University of Johnson and Wales in Miami, Florida. Nigerian President Goodluck Jonathan and his wife, Dame Patience Jonathan, are here in Trinidad and Tobago. The couple, who touched down at the Piarco International Airport just some minutes after 5 yesterday evening aboard the Nigerian Air Force plane, were greeted with a royal welcome from the Trinidad and Tobago Regiment, as well as a cultural show in honor of their visit. After exiting the aircraft, the Nigerian national anthem was played during the military's 21-gun salute. His visit comes in time for emancipation festivities, as well as ahead of this country's celebration of 50 years of independence later this month. Following his arrival, President Jonathan and his contingent were entertained by a cultural show featuring the National Steel Symphony Orchestra and the Suzanne Mohib Dance Company. president is accompanied by a 70-person delegation. His visit was as a result of talks Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessor held with the Nigerian president during last year's Commonwealth Leaders Conference held in Australia. As part of his 3-day visit, President Jonathan will attend a state dinner at the President's house, as well as engage in bilateral talks with the Prime Minister on energy and trade relations.
Morning.
Post, my public assistant check reach yet?
Oh, sorry, nothing.
Okay. Yeah, my check?
No, ma'am, nothing.
You were waiting on. Come, when me check.
Nothing today, Granny.
What you mean nothing?
Granny, you better check the office.
The office at mine, you expect me to go down and
But Granny, why you arguing with the postman?
Because like my check loose in space.
Granny, you got your form to sign up for direct deposit. It's for senior citizens who receiving pension and those who receiving disability grant and public assistance.
Farm?
Direct deposit?
Yes, with direct deposit, your money goes directly into your bank account.
Directly?
Yes, so no more checking in the mail.
Good. Come inside and show me where this farm is.
Come
Yes,
on,
I
Granny.
better go down the road and tell some people down the road.
You do that.
Come on, Granny. Granny, come on. Granny!
Direct deposit. It's direct banking, direct payment. Call 800-4775 for further info. Direct deposit, making sense.
Promoters, are you planning an event? If your noise is excessive, you can be shut down. Remember, music is our culture. Noise is not. To find out more, call the EMA or visit ema.co.tt.
Emancipation celebrations in Port of Spain were not to be hampered despite the rains. Citizens came out in their numbers and their colours alongside Prime Minister the Honourable Kamla Persad-Bissessor and members of her cabinet and President of Nigeria Goodluck Jonathan and his wife First Lady Patience Jonathan. The celebrations got underway early with persons coming out from as early as 6 a.m. to partake in the spiritual part of the ceremony. This was followed by the formal speeches by Prime Minister Persad-Bissessor and President Jonathan. The parade took place and participants refused to let the rains deter them. Speaking to News 4 at the celebrations, Minister of National Diversity and Social Integration, Dr. the Honourable Clifton Dekoto explains he believes emancipation was best explained by Jamaican reggae star Bob Marley. He adds that for emancipation to really mean something, persons must free themselves mentally of negative thoughts so they can achieve success.
It means freedom. And you hear the song in the background. I honestly feel that this is what we have to do. Emancipate ourselves from this mental slavery and from a number of things that keep us still shackled. You know, the negatives that we cannot do this and we cannot do that. As African people, we have to try and clear ourselves of those thoughts, those negatives. But you know, perception sometimes becomes reality. And you know, repetition leads to retention. So that if they tell you you cannot do it, you know, you internalize that you cannot do it. So that this emancipation is beyond just the 174 years of freedom, but it shows that where you can go further by emancipating yourselves from those negatives. You understand me? You must be able to think outside of the box, be able to achieve.
Minister Dekoto also took the opportunity to reiterate the importance of national pride not only for our festivals but for our nation as a whole. He says, just like the citizens of the United States of America all fly a U.S. flag in their house throughout the entire year to display their pride in their country, so should we.
We want to get at, I am proud to be a Trinbagonian, right? Trinidad and Tobago, this is my place. I'm proud to be a Trinbagonian. And we want to encourage people to fly a flag, have a flag in every home. The Scouts in Naparima did that, and we want to champion that. So that we hope to launch from the 31st Independence Day straight on to Republic Day, and then continuing for the rest of the year to have that thing, that drive, that thrust towards developing that. Let us get some of those values that make us proud. And we must draw on each other. You know, the diversity, the strengths in the diversity, we have to put it together, you know, as one.
Artists can be assured that they will benefit tremendously from the Arts and Culture Tax Allowance Initiative. This from Arts and Multiculturalism Minister Dr. Lincoln Douglas, who is addressing a seminar entitled Cultural Returns, a Guide for Corporate Citizens. The minister says the contribution of artists and their role in national development will be significantly boosted via the tripartite partnership with government, the corporate sector, and the artistic fraternity.
We want you to have the confidence that these measures are operational. We want you to know that you can access them. And I will be here to support. This work by making it more user-friendly. I would encourage my staff to encourage people to participate. Or when they come, say, this is what you need again, don't worry, work on it. It's all right, you will get through this. You know, in other words, to say to the applicants, we will help you get through this, and we will help you get through it in the fastest of time. Because we want more of our artists to be professional, to participate in this endeavor so that they can access all the resources.
He explains how far the allowance will go towards developing the cultural sector.
This Arts and Culture Allowance is giving us a mechanism. It's created for this very process. And through this allowance, the state forgoes collection of tax revenue from corporate citizens in lieu of financial support they provide for the cultural sector. So the state is saying that support for the artistic community is so important that it will sacrifice some of its revenue it collects from businesses so that these funds can be diverted towards the cultural sector.
The Ministry of Arts and Multiculturalism has a great part to play in facilitating the process. The minister went into detail explaining some of its responsibilities as it pertains to the Art and Culture Tax Allowance.
And this legislation calls for a special role for the ministry which is responsible for culture. The ministry must maintain a register of performing artists, as you've rightly heard. Its minister must certify audio and audiovisual works as representing local culture and entertainment if the corporate citizen is to receive the benefits of the legislation. It is primarily for this reason that the National Registry of Artists and Cultural Workers was created by the ministry. It is therefore important that the business community understand the role of the National Registry that the National Registry plays in this process.
Also speaking at the event was Mr. Errol Ramsubik of the Board of Inland Revenue, who elaborated on how the system works.
If a company incurs expenditure in respect of artistic work, they would be entitled to claim a deduction in determining their chargeable profit for that year of income in which you incur the expenditure equal to the amount of the expenditure. So if you incur expenditure of $1 million in 2012, you can claim as an allowance that amount in determining your chargeable profit.
Granny, what you doing?
Child, I forget and I wash my pension check.
But Granny, you can't use it like that.
What? I need my money now.
Granny, you didn't get the form to sign up for the new initiative by the government.
Initiwa?
It's called direct deposit. You see, there was a concern for lost check, so they came up with direct deposits. So you could go directly to the bank to withdraw your money.
So wait, they ain't posting out the checks again?
No, once you sign your form and post it in the mail.
Oh, well, that good. Morning, neighbor, morning.
Morning, Tanti. I'm going to check for my check.
But like you ain't hear about direct deposit? Wait, people who getting disability grant, them getting it too?
Yes, disability, pension, and public assistance.
That is we thing. Come, boy, come. Let me tell you about direct deposit. Direct deposit, boy.
Direct deposit. It's direct banking, direct payment. Call 800-4775 for further info. Direct deposit, making sense.
Noisemakers beware. Excessive noise is against the law. Did you know that apart from the noise pollution control rules, there are over 10 pieces of legislation under which noise can be addressed? Any officer of the police service can take action against noise pollution. Remember, music is our culture. Noise is not. To find out more, call the EMA or visit ema.co.tt.
Are very much aware of the shared history and strong ancestral links which bind our two countries, spanning several centuries and undiminished by distance and even the Atlantic Ocean. A nation that lacks the insight and consciousness of its history cannot entertain hopes and aspiration for the present. That is why we have responsibility never to forget the lessons of our past, and therefore the imperative need to continue to strive to strengthen our relations in all spheres of life.
His Excellency Goodluck Jonathan speaking at the Cambule procession during the emancipation celebrations in Port of Spain. The Nigerian president is promising to ensure that the fruitful coexistence between the Republic of Nigeria and Trinidad and Tobago continues to flourish.
Nigeria will continue to strive assiduously towards upholding the mutually beneficial spirit of cooperation and solidarity that happily exists between the peoples of the African continent and our brethren in the Caribbean community, and especially in the spirit of the Commonwealth of Nations. We must work tirelessly together with unity of purpose to create a new world that we all can be proud of.
His Excellency is commending Trinidad and Tobago for its recognition and commemoration of the abolition of slavery, while also expressing delight in the appointment of a female leader of government in this country.
I salute the people and government of Trinidad and Tobago for their foresight in recognizing the importance and significance of commemorating this day, being the first nation to declare a national day marking the abolition of slavery. Let me reassure you that Nigeria will continue to remember this day with you people. I thank you for your kind attention, and I wish you a happy celebration. And let me again use this unique opportunity to thank you, my brothers and sisters of Trinidad and Tobago, for electing a lady as the Prime Minister. In Nigeria, we are also struggling to make sure that we give opportunities to women, because even looking at population ratio, it's already almost 1:1. And in that case, for any nation to move forward, you must encourage the women. My government has given a lot of responsibilities to women. I wouldn't bore you by listing them, but I'm also waiting for the day a woman will be the president of Nigeria.
Just 1 week prior to his visit, 57 Nigerian trainees successfully completed training in the fields of automotive services maintenance, heavy equipment and crane operations, industrial mechanical maintenance, and shield metal arc welding. Their success is the culmination of an agreement which found its genesis through the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding between the NESC and KES Services Limited of Nigeria to provide training in these priority areas. Over the years, Trinidad and Tobago has managed to successfully cultivate resources for training and development that will continue to bring nationals from around the world to its shores. This kind of collaboration is one testament to the continued linkages between Trinidad and Tobago and its ancestry, as the country gives back by contributing to its own development with the talents and expertise that have been cultivated from an innate and abundant resource, the native genius of its people. In his remarks, Minister Karim is expressing his determination to work towards boosting technical and vocational training ties with Nigeria and is revealing his proposal to establish a model of the NESC training institution in Nigeria.
I am determined, Your Excellency, to expand our relationship in the area of technical and vocational education and training. And I would therefore like to propose to Your Excellency what I believe to be the next logical step in this regard. And as the chairman would have told you earlier on, I coined the phrase, the creation of Tringeria, the bond of Trinidad and Tobago and Nigeria, where the NESC can now export the talent and the skills of the energy sector to help your country, to help our brothers and sisters in Nigeria. I want to tell you, Your Excellency, President, I give my commitment as Minister of Tertiary Education and Skills Training to make all our agencies and all our abilities and capacities available to you, sir, to your government and to the people of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
His Excellency also gave his commitment to the initiative, saying he recognizes that Trinidad and Tobago is genuinely interested in bonding with Nigeria to assist in training for the oil and gas sector. A new cohort of 70 Nigerian trainees have already commenced training at the NESC Drilling School in St. Madeleine.
I'm quite pleased with the Honorable Minister because I think he's so used to us, even from his speech, even our greetings and our call sign, "Hi, Joe," has been so mastered by him. So I have to thank you for that. It shows clearly that you are not just interested in training them because of any benefit that you get from fees or so on, but you have the passion and the interest to link up with Nigeria and these people from the Niger Delta area to make sure that they are trained in a way that they will play a key role in the oil industry, one of the key sectors of our national economy.
The Nigerian president reflected on events recorded in the Holy Bible, which were similar to the slavery endured by the African people. He is identifying the great appreciation and celebration which have now resulted from those seasons of agony which have ended.
Even the men of God were enslaved in Egypt. And probably because of that slavery, great leaders like Moses came into being. And for that, Moses led them to the promised land. And now they are part of the globe that dominates the world. So today, we are thinking about the future. What do we now do as free men and women? It's for us to embrace science and technology to rule the world.
Meanwhile, Minister in the Ministry of Finance, Rudy Ndarsing, says, in spite of the negativism that is commonly associated with slavery, the unity and togetherness which came out of the centuries of hardships and struggles are reason enough to look back and celebrate. Minister Ndarsing says this country embraces its Nigerian brothers and sisters and continues to work towards strengthening its ties with the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Trinidad and Tobago and Nigeria, we share a common bond, we share a common cultural experience and a rich sense of history as a result of that unfortunate experience which we refer to as slavery. But from both countries, persons have risen in the context of having given a true sense of service to Trinidad and Tobago and also Nigeria. And in that context, we must continue to exemplify to the world that we have learned richly from slavery and we have overcome all obstacles. So today, Nigeria and Trinidad and Tobago can be an integral part of the global community.
And that's a look at GISL's Week in Review. Here is a reminder that you can view segments of this program on our website at news.gov.tt. I'm Vina Bharat. Thanks for joining us. Do have a great week.